Why do we have parallel with a big cross next to it? Who's heard of the parallel aiming system with side spin? I certainly have. You just aim parallel to the line of aim and then you'll pop the ball, goes the theory, which is totally wrong and so misleading and so damaging for players as well for them to pick up, because they're guaranteed a life of failure in side spin aiming. But the problem is it sounds so intuitive. Oh, just do your normal line of aim with centre cue ball striking and then move the cue parallel to that line for the amount of side you want and the object ball will magically go in. It makes so much sense. It's so intuitively correct until the player starts doing it. And if they're consciously locked into this method, which is very easy if you're looking up to a coach or a player or a referee in a club who gives you the theory and you're a youngster. I've been on the receiving end of many of these misconceptions that I was taught, and it's so frustrating to find out 5 years later that it was actually wrong, although the intent was to help and very positive. All these red herrings in the game are what make the game so infuriatingly difficult to work out. So how the parallel aiming system goes is the player or the coach will say, look, just aim parallel to that line. So you've got, there you go, these two lines are parallel. This is the line of aim, that's the cue ball. That's your ghost ball here. That's where you want your cue ball to be on impact with the object ball. That's your object ball, which you want to go into the pocket. So they'll just say, deliver the cue on this line, and the white will magically appear here and pop the ball. Isn't that easy? No, it isn't easy because it doesn't work. But the problem is, sometimes, maybe 5% of the time, it does work. Maybe less than 5%. Now, what is that occasion when the parallel aiming does work? If you hit this with a lot of speed, the cue ball will take this path, deflects first of all in this direction. So right-hand side sends the object, left-hand side, sorry, sends the object ball to the right as the player is looking at it. And then the left-hand side will turn the ball to the left. Many players think, if I play left-hand side, the cue ball will go over here. But that's physically impossible. You're hitting this side of the cue ball, so the inertia is moving in this direction here. There's obviously friction and stuff, so that results in the cue ball going in this sort of direction. Eventually, the cue ball will cross this path again. If you play slower, your cue ball will go in this direction and turn here. It turns here with speed, it turns here with less speed. And the white comes over this line again at some point. If you play even softer, the white ball turns here. And it does cross this line as it hits the object ball. This is the situation where the object ball would go in, where parallel aiming does actually work, but you can ignore it because it's 1 in a million where you're the correct distance, the correct side spin and the correct speed, that actually does fit the aiming requirement of the shot. If you play even softer, the white ball turns here and crosses the line before you hit the object ball. So for a given cue line of aim, there are multiple object ball directions. I'll demonstrate that here. So let's aim parallel. Okay, there's my line of aim. I'm now going to aim parallel. And I'll leave the cue in position after the delivery so that you can see where, if I was delivering straight or not. Okay. So, delivering parallel, let's play with plenty of speed. So that goes more or less toward the pink. Parallel aiming. I said I was going to leave it in position. There you go, straight delivery. Now if I play less speed, let's play about half that speed. Parallel. So that's a straight delivery, isn't it? The red goes toward the blue. So it's much closer to the pocket. Let's go about half that speed again. Straight delivery. So the red's going toward the jaw now. That red's getting grubby, isn't it? Let's use another one. Even less speed here. That's a straight delivery. So in fact this one, it's actually going slightly toward this side of the pocket, which shows that the cue ball actually turned before it hit the red. So that's our ghost ball there. So the cue ball came over here, parallel aiming, straight delivery, deflected to my right, and then the side spin pulled the ball over in this direction, and it crossed the line before the white hit the red, so the red goes in this direction. So what we're saying is that depending on those three variables, the distance to the ball, the amount of side, and the speed of the shot, those three variables determine your line of aim for a given shot. And there is only one line of aim for those three variables. And every shot you play with side has one given correct amount of side and speed for the distance of the shot, for the positional effect that you want to achieve. There is only one line of aim for that amount of side and the speed that you're playing. So you have to get better at guessing what that line of aim might be, and it requires more guessing than just aiming a simple object ball like this with no side spin, because the white's not travelling in a straight line, as if the game's not difficult enough as it is, without sending the cue ball on an arc and having to double judge not only the potting angle but the compensation layered on top of the potting angle. But that's what makes the game such a fascinating calculation exercise. So here's the thing, with a straight delivery, what I've found is that students learn how to aim with side spin much more quickly than the other way, which is almost to be in denial about how much side we're going to play. Aim toward the centre of the cue ball because that feels safe, and swoosh out to the left on delivery. Aiming toward the centre because it feels comfortable, and then swooshing out to the side. Some pros do that, as we mentioned earlier, so I'm not arguing with how somebody learnt to aim with side. Just what I'm explaining is that my experience shows if you can help a player to learn to deliver with a straight delivery on every side spin shot they play, the rate at which they learn side spin will be accelerated greatly.